What's poppin' YouTube and welcome to my channel, Astro Finesse. It's your boy Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie back with another video for y'all. And this video right here we're gonna be talking about if you have Chiron in the 4th house or in the sign of Cancer. And I'll pause for the cause. If you don't know how to find your Chiron placement, if you're a new subscriber, if you're just starting off your journey of self-love, self-knowledge, self-understanding, if you don't realize why it's so important that you have to look at your birth chart, study your birth chart, and understand yourself and love yourself through astrology and numerology. Don't worry, I got you. There's a couple of videos. I'll put the link in the description. You have to watch them first to become hip to the knowledge of what I'm about to talk about right now. So if you look at your birth chart or your natal chart, it's the same thing. And you realize you have Chiron in the 4th house or the sign of Cancer, this video is for you. So without further ado, let's just get it poppin', shall we? Now you already know before I start, I'm going to give y'all a list of some celebrities so y'all can visually see what Chiron in the 4th house people look like and act like in reality. Then I'm going to have a list of celebrities that have Chiron in the sign of Cancer. So to start, we got Miley Cyrus, Jim Carrey, Nelson Mandela, Cher, Bruno Mars, Denzel Washington, Janet Jackson, Erykah Badu, Tinashe, and Ashanti. And now these are the celebrities that have Chiron in the sign of Cancer. To start, we got Taylor Swift, Chris Brown, The Weeknd, Tina Turner, Ed Sheeran, SZA, Marvin Gaye, JoJo, Soulja Boy, and Teyana Taylor. Alright, so boom, Chiron in the 4th house, so Chiron in Cancer. First of all, what does Chiron mean? What does Chiron represent in our birth chart? So Chiron, to start off, is not a planet, it's an asteroid that orbits in between the planet of Saturn and Uranus. So it goes in between Saturn and Uranus. So to easily understand it, it's like putting both energies together, putting the energy of Saturn, which is restrictive, kind of pinpointing your flaws and forcing you to like really be pessimistic on yourself for your flaws, and the energy of Uranus, which is after you have overcome your flaws and you liberate yourself, you can actually help humanity, you can actually help yourself be free from your flaws, if that makes sense. So orbiting in between Saturn and Uranus, those two energies put together. It's considered a wounded healer because it shows us where in our chart, depending on the sign, depending on the house it's in, it shows us where in your life you already come into this reality with a wound already, with your insecurity, with a weakness, with a vulnerability that you have to overcome in this lifetime in order to unlock, because it's the glyph is a key, in order to unlock your potential to actually heal and help others. And for those that haven't heard the story about where Chiron, the wounded healer, came from, I gotta take y'all way back in the Maybach to Greek mythology, to a Greek mythological story. And now, like I always say, this is a myth. Not everything when it comes to details will be true, but just take the symbolisms of what I'm talking about rather than focusing on the details. So to start, Chiron was abandoned at birth. Chiron's father, named Kronos or Saturn, had a reputation for eating his children after they were born because he was afraid that because Kronos is a god, that me giving birth to another god, that god is going to come and overthrow my power. So he used to eat his children in fear that he would be overthrown in the future. And his fear was correct because one of his sons, Zeus, actually overthrown his power when he grew up. So Chiron's father, Kronos, was out looking for Zeus. While he was looking for Zeus, he came across a nymph named Philyra. He was attracted to Philyra, but then Philyra wanted nothing to do with Kronos. Philyra did not want nothing to do with anything that has to do with Saturn or Kronos, so she turned herself into a mare or a horse to run away from Kronos. And Kronos in turn turned himself into a horse to get with Philyra. So Kronos got with Philyra. You could say he raped her because, like I said, she did not want nothing to do with it in the beginning. So then out came Chiron. So Chiron is a bastard child. Nobody wants Chiron. Chiron came out half human, half horse, half god. Chiron's mother Philyra was very ashamed of how he looked. She did not want Chiron at all. So he was abandoned at birth. So out came Apollo. Apollo was a god of enlightenment. Apollo took Chiron under his wing, taught him things like poetry, music, astrology, healing. He just taught Chiron enlightened information that turned Chiron into a master healer, a master teacher. He would train other gods, he would help other gods, he would teach other people. So Chiron, being abandoned at birth, became a prominent figure in that lifetime. He became a master healer. That's where that healing energy comes from. So fast forward, Hercules was in a war or in a fight with other centaurs. Remember, a centaur is a half man, half horse, and Chiron looks like a half man, half horse. So he was accidentally hit by one of the poison arrows from Hercules. So that's where the wound came from. It's a poison arrow that, because Chiron's father Kronos is a god, Chiron himself is a god, and he's immortal, so he cannot die. So him getting that wound was where he couldn't heal that wound because he couldn't die. At the same time, he was a master healer, master teacher, so that's where the wounded healer effect came from. So fast forwarding, he came to the point that his wound was so unbearably hard to bear that he prayed and asked all the gods to please let me die finally so I could actually be free from this pain. And that's where they say the constellation of Sagittarius in the sky came from, when Chiron finally was able to rest in peace. So all that put together gives y'all a little background of where the wounded healer effects come from. So now, what does it mean having Chiron in the 4th house of Chiron in Cancer? And before I start this, understand that having this placement is very difficult and tough if you don't know why things are happening to you in your life, if you don't study astrology, or if you're not really aware of healing yourself. Remember, Chiron tells you where in your chart you have to heal yourself in order to heal others. And now having this in the 4th house or in Cancer, 4th house energy, Cancer energy is our foundation, is our past, is our childhood, is the way we feel secure in life. So when your foundation, when your childhood, when your past is wounded, understand that if you have a broken foundation in the future, as you become an adult, as you become mature in life, if you're not healing your foundation, if you're not healing from your past, you won't be able to grow anything of stability, of sustainability. You won't be able to grow anything that will be able to sustain you as a person, because the foundation is wounded, the foundation is broken, the foundation is not healed. So this video might trigger some people. I'm not trying to trigger y'all on purpose, but we have to understand that these conversations have to happen in order for you to understand that, okay, damn, I have to heal myself from this in order to change. But the flip side is, if you heal from this energy, if you actually do the inner work, the blessings on the other side is tremendously great, more greater than the difficulties that happen with this placement. So anyway, what does it mean having Chiron in Cancer, Chiron in the 4th house? So having that foundation, the 4th house energy is stability, being wounded means that these people in their childhood, because Chiron energy is all about childhood and childhood past and traumatic past. So in the Chiron in the 4th house, a Chiron in Cancer person's childhood, they grew up really having an emptiness when it comes to being nurtured by their caregivers, when it comes to being accepted, feeling like they're whole in their environment, feeling like they're loved, feeling like they are one within their environment, their immediate family. Either you could have moved around a lot, which means you feel like you're unstable. It's kind of hard to really find a place to settle in because you moved around a lot. Or you could have been in one spot for a long time, but you just didn't feel comfortable in your family environment, in your immediate environment. So Chiron here, the wound is going to be geared towards your childhood and how you were nurtured as a child. If you've seen your parents arguing all the time, if you didn't have a good example of what it's like to have two strong working parents working together, if you always seen chaos in your family, if you always had parents kind of downplaying you, really not respecting you as a child, really not nurturing you as a child, that's where all these wounds can stem from. So what happens when you grow up as an adult with these wounds? You begin to look at yourself like, damn, so I wasn't able to be loved, or I wasn't able to have that nurturing energy as a child. So now I'm growing up, maybe I don't deserve to be loved, maybe I don't deserve to love. Or you could be the type to be really, really overly attached, really, really overly clingy, because you just want that so bad that you're doing it in an unhealthy way. Rather than looking inside yourself and reparenting yourself first before you go out looking for love, when you have that empty space in your heart, or that empty space in your stability, in your childhood, in your past, that empty space within your Cancer energy, your family life, and you're out looking for stability, out looking for nurturing, out looking for love, you could look for it in the wrong places. You could do it in a very toxic manner, which also aids on or adds on to the wound. It's like you could choose a wrong person. You could like choose unattainable people that you kind of idealize. Like, this is my perfect partner. This is who I want so bad. And when you find that person, you could give them so much of yourself, be so overly attached. It's like having attachment issues is very prominent with this placement. It's like once you find that idealistic partner, you can become really attached, put that person on a pedestal. This person is my life. Oh my God, I love you so much. You can really be overly attached to the point that you're putting this person on a pedestal. You're putting more emphasis on this person's life rather than looking inside yourself and trying to fill that hole, or fill that void within yourself. So it manifests as you're being overly attached, overly nurturing, just overly too much when it comes to trying to find that love, to the point that when that relationship ends, because let's be honest, it wasn't built off of authenticity, it was built off of you trying to find something outside yourself. That when that ends, it's like, damn, you see, I told you I'm not worthy of love. See, I told you love is bad. See, I told you, like, all this pain. It's like you kind of not play the victim because the pain is real, but because you're searching for it in a negative way or in a toxic way, when it does become bad, y'all could go through heartbreaks really, really tough. Because when it comes to your sensitive side, your vulnerable side is your security, is your inner stability, inner strength, inner security, inner nurturing energy. So if you're looking for it outside yourself first, rather than healing yourself and reparenting yourself, and that relationship ends, it's like that pain, that wound becomes even greater. Or it could be the exact opposite, which is you could be really, really closed off from people getting inside your heart, getting inside your nurturing energy, because of that fear, because of that insecurity of, I know what it was like when I was a child. I know what it was like in the past when I actually wanted to nurture and actually give myself to someone or my parents, and they kind of didn't give it to me, and I felt that pain. So now, as I'm getting older, as an adult, I don't want nobody to come next to me. I don't want nobody to be around me. I don't want nobody to see me vulnerable, because I'm afraid of going through that again. So it goes through these two different extreme differences when it comes to nurturing, when it comes to find that love outside yourself. So that's the pain, that's the wound that you come into this lifetime with. That's your insecurity of trying to find a place you feel like you belong, that you feel stable in, that you feel truly comfortable in. So what you got to do to heal from this is to reparent yourself. Reparenting yourself means that if your guardian didn't really give you that nurturing energy, if your guardian didn't really give you what you needed emotionally, you could have had anything you needed when it comes to physical things, material things, but when it comes to emotional needs, if they weren't met as a child, as you're growing up and you realize these things, like, damn, like, I didn't really get emotional nurturing as a child, so now I have to reparent myself. I have to really nurture myself. I have to kind of give this energy to myself. So healing yourself is by nurturing yourself and finding love within yourself, trying to be whole within yourself rather than looking outwardly for this. And if you're the type that's really against somebody coming into your life, being vulnerable, understand that that's also a fear, because you understand that I feel like I'm not worthy of love, or anytime something happens emotionally, I can't handle it, so I'm just going to knock it down 100%. And a lot of y'all might be asking, yo, how does this guy know this? How do you know that? I'm speaking from experience. I don't have Chiron in the 4th house or in Cancer, but I could relate to this placement big time when it comes to having like a non-emotional upbringing that can affect you as an adult now. So I don't want y'all thinking I'm perfect. I don't want y'all thinking I got all the answers and I'm telling y'all what to do. I'm speaking this because I also relate to y'all big time, and I also have to work on these things too. So anyway, to heal yourself is to love yourself and to reparent yourself and to nurture yourself. Pour water into your own cup to be full before you go out trying to nurture others. The thing about this placement is y'all are really good at picking up emotional cues from other people. Y'all are really good at picking up other people's emotions. Like, you really know how to nurture other people to the max because you know what it feels like not to be nurtured. So the plus of this, once you heal yourself, y'all could be the type to be into like family therapy, or to be the type that really knows how to nurture people. Y'all could be the best parents ever because you understand that I know what it was like as a child. Now that I have my own child, I know exactly what to do to make sure that child has emotional needs met. It's like you heal yourself, you become liberated when you have your own family because you know what it's like not to feel accepted. And your child will become like your everything, and you will pour so much emotional guidance, emotional energy into that child because you know what it was like not to have it. So with this placement, like I said, if you don't realize what's going on, if you don't realize your flaws, your insecurities, if you don't realize the things that you go through that happen in life, it's like, damn, why is it happening to me? If you don't realize why it's happening to you and try to heal from it, you will cause that cycle to happen again and again, and you always feel like you're not worthy of love, or you always get heartbroken, or you always won't feel accepted within yourself. So the best place to be is to be at one within yourself first. I gotta say this in every video because that is like the core to everything in life. Love yourself, nurture yourself, reparent yourself, put that nurturing energy into yourself, give yourself massages or go get massages, take care of your body, take care of your health, like do things for yourself, reparent yourself, nurture yourself, and love yourself. And in the process, you'll be able to healthily find a partner, healthily find that nurturing energy, healthily be a healthy parent, healthily help others when it comes to like their emotional needs. You could healthily be able to do this because you've healed yourself first. That wounded healer effect. You still will have that wound from your childhood. You still will have that wound from your past. But once you heal yourself and you understand the steps it takes to actually reparent and to nurture yourself, you will then be able to give out that nurturing energy to others. And your nurturing energy is tremendously great because y'all do it from a place of knowing what it's like not to have it. So y'all know exactly what to do, what to say, how to take care of people because you know what it was like not to have it. So don't be so hard on yourself. It's not your fault that you grew up in the way it's not your fault you grew up the way you grew up. It's not your fault that you had your kind of upbringing the way you had it. But it's your responsibility. Now that you have the knowledge that you know what's going on, it's your responsibility to take the action to heal yourself, not to carry out the same cycles, the same curses, the same cycles, the same toxicity. It's your responsibility not to carry these things out. But once you do, understand that the blessings, the light at the end of the tunnel is you become like a master nurturer, master healer to those that you love, especially your own family. When you have your own children, your own wife, your own husband, especially your own foundation, fourth house energy, you will be like the epitome of the perfect father, the perfect mother. You will actually know how to give that energy freely and authentically rather than searching for it outside yourself, rather than searching for it in a negative way, if that makes sense. So that was my video on Chiron in the 4th house. I hope y'all enjoyed that. My next video is going to be a Chiron in the 5th house, and you already know I'm about to go in. If you have subscribed to my channel, appreciate all y'all for real. But if you still haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and handle that one time for your boy. Don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and be safe out here. It's your boy, Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie. I'm going to see all y'all when I see y'all. Peace.